Come on. Welcome. Dave, how's it going tonight?
I don't know what we're doing here anymore, Ken. What are we really going to discuss this?
Let's
We have one topic that I'm still trying to figure out, and the other topic I can't wait to hear.
let's start
Actually, I'm
with
really
this.
excited. All right.
Dave, I texted you yesterday and I said, "Hey, have you seen the latest episode of Strange New Worlds?" And you said, "Not yet." And I said, "What did I say to you?" I said,
You said it was really good.
"It's really
I
best
think
Star
more or
Trek
less.
episode ever, right?" And then so after that, I'm like, I'm gonna see how long it takes Dave to watch it because I know as soon as he does, he's gonna text me. So then you texted me, and what did I send to you? This.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. I lied. I absolutely lied. It was not the best episode ever. In fact, it was probably the worst episode ever.
It was
Now,
trash. Yeah.
here's how you have to gauge it, though. I'm gauging it based on Starfleet Academy not being a Star Trek show. Okay. If that's the case, this was the worst episode ever. If you count Starfleet Academy, then this was the 11th worst episode ever because all 10 episodes of Starfleet Academy were horrible. So tonight,
There were some Starfleet Academy cameos in this episode.
Tonight we're going to talk about this, the latest episode. Now,
I like how pixelated you have for that picture on purpose.
Well, it goes along with the quality of this episode, to be honest. So
yeah,
the first thing I did, Dave, after I watched this, I'm like, who wrote this? I had to look it up because in my mind,
really?
I'm thinking this is Starfleet Academy. This is Starfleet Academy. So I looked it up, and the woman who wrote it is Catherine Lynn. Now, Catherine Lynn is also a co-producer of Strange New Worlds, but she also wrote the episode Those Old Scientists, which was the crossover episode between Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds. And remember, we talked about that episode before, and Star Trek fans, including myself, do not like that episode.
Yeah.
Lower Decks, of course, is the cartoon comedy of Star Trek, which is fine. You can have that by itself. It's like having Lego Star Wars. That's a comedy. But you don't mix the two. You just don't do that. So she wrote that episode, but she was also a regular writer on Lower Decks. So she's a comedian. That's what she writes. And so Lower Decks, I've seen a few episodes. It's not my gig, but yes, there was some
not my
funny
cup of tea.
Yeah, there was funny stuff in there, and that's fine. They put her in this, writing this. That was the problem. So let's park on that for a second, Dave, because I still had the suspicion about Starfleet Academy, right? And so I looked up further, and look, some of the props they used were from Starfleet Academy, and that's why it looked like one of the reasons why it looked like Starfleet Academy. So I was pretty close to being right. You mentioned something about that before the show. So they had made these props. Now, real quick, I have to say this right off the bat. I have to give this a little bit of grace because we have to remember this season was done a year ago. It's not like they just came out with it. It was done a year ago. It's been on the shelf waiting. Then Starfleet Academy came out. Now they're showing this. So it's kind of like, well, it's water under the bridge. We should have known some of this was going to pop out. If I had been in charge at Paramount, I would have screened every episode and been like, yes, nope, yes, nope, yes, but whatever. That's just me. So let's Dave, let's show a few pictures of this episode. This is fantastic, isn't it?
So
again,
for those that did not watch, let me give you some context. If you have seen the Hangover or movies, which for some reason there are 3 of them, not a fan personally, and just don't care for the genre of people getting, blackout drunk. This was that. And in fact, pause on that photo real quick. With Captain Pike, the face tattoo is a direct homage to the Hangover where, I forget the guy's name, gets a tattoo on his face. And
Yeah.
then Pike has to do the job of a Federation official trying to broker peace while being hungover the whole time. And actually, the best part of the episode is Ethan Peck, Spock. He is the best part. He is the only thing I liked about it. And we'll get into that.
Yeah. The whole episode was a comedy. It really was. It was but here's the problem, Dave, like we've talked about before, and it's so funny because what was the episode about? They went to a vacation planet. Did we not talk about that last week? Like, I'm so glad last week's episode wasn't, Strange New Worlds, they don't go to vacation planets, and sure enough, the next episode, they go to a vacation planet. Um, so right away when this was coming on, I'm like, "Oh, great, you gotta be kidding me." So the overall premise is the overall summary is they have to go to a special delegation, do peace talks with these aliens, and it has to be perfect. They're stressed out. They have some time, and that they're on their way, but there's a vacation planet en route. So get off at X12, and there's the vacation planet. So they talk about it before, and they're like, the vacation planet, it's really great. The atmosphere causes you like intoxicating effects, but oh well. And Captain Pike's like, sure, let's go. Um, then they all go and everyone loses their mind and bad
Yeah.
things happen and they almost all die. And after it's all said and done, they all laugh about it. And Pike's like, let's do it again next year. So that's the short summary of the whole thing. And as you see, Pike got a face tattoo. Um, Dave, where do we start?
I mean,
I can tell you right now where here's the problem.
Yeah.
I've
Let me
watched
share
this
my
show.
text I sent to you.
Okay.
When I got into it. So Ken had watched it. He had said was, why is this episode this way? The second thing I asked is, what is going on with this season? Now, when I looked into this episode, this originally was supposed to be episode 2, not episode 3 of the series. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
So they flopped episode 2 and 3. And so Spock, you think, would be needing to recover from the fact that he just had his ears clipped off by himself.
Right.
And now it's like as if that didn't happen because they rearranged the schedule.
Yeah, you're right.
And it just, yeah.
Because the end of episode 2, like they're still reeling, and it's like this is going to be a long haul for them to recover. And then a short while later, oh, everything's fine. Let's go get plastered by the atmosphere of this vacation planet. The first 3 seasons have developed these characters. In this episode, the writer totally disregarded that completely. Like she didn't even know who these people were. I'll just focus on Pike. Captain Pike, we know, is a peacekeeper. He would rather make peace than fire phasers. He is cautious. He is mature. He's the stable one in the room. And in this episode, he is a reckless frat boy, even when he's not intoxicated. Like the idea, let's go. Throw caution to the wind. Let's go to a planet where that's going to alter our state of mind, and it'll all be great. And then they almost get blown up, and he's like, "Hey, let's do it again next year." That's not Pike. Okay, that's probably the biggest thing that bothered me about this episode is you might be able to make an argument for some of the other characters doing that. Pike, we know that's not who he is, and so again, it's like another episode.
Sloppy writing and sloppy characterization.
Yes, it's Kurtzman, another Kurtzman episode, and here's the thing. I'm just gonna be brutally honest about this. My opinion. Kurtzman, if he would stop getting in his own way, he could do fantastic things.
I actually don't think so. I think that he is not getting his own way. I think he is doing exactly what he intends to do.
But he did Discovery, he did Picard, and he's done Strange New Worlds. We won't talk about Starfleet Academy. But they've all had excellent episodes and they've had some really bad episodes. So I guess the question is, who was in charge of the excellent ones and who was in charge of the bad ones?
Here's the thing. When I think back on TNG, on Voyager, and even Deep Space Nine, are there a few like bad episodes? Sure. But most of them are good. Some are great, and some are just straight down the middle.
Yeah,
It seems to be in the Kurtzman era, there are mostly bad. And then
it's
there is in the
it's
middle,
like
and
this.
then you might have a piece of gold, okay, like episode one. That was fine. Um, but then you have last episode, which not my cup of tea, but you thought was great. And in this one, we're back to the meme again,
Yeah,
where
we're
it's
back to flashbacks. Like, oh my
so
word.
I just think that he is not his own worst enemy. He, in fact, is his own best friend. And that what we're not seeing is not a bug, but a feature. It is what they want to make it into. I don't, maybe you and I are fuddy duddies, Ken, but I don't think a lot of people are going out there getting blackout drunk like it's some sort of early 2000s, late 90s TV movie. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah,
maybe you and I are just so disconnected. Um, but would they do that in Star Trek? I'm trying to think if there's any time where they would do that. I mean, when
not on
Picard went to
purpose. Not
yeah,
on purpose.
Picard went to Vacation Worlds, and usually he didn't want to be there. Um, I'm
Yeah,
trying to think.
it
Janeway was excited about when they pretend to go on vacation, but she didn't lose her head.
I mean, think
Eh,
about the concept. You're gonna go to an alien planet, be completely vulnerable, and not even know what you're doing? That doesn't sound like a good idea on at any level, you know? To walk into it'd be like us going to a foreign country where we don't know who's there, and we're just gonna get plastered, so we don't even remember what we are, and then we'd be surprised if we wake up in a bathtub full of ice with our kidneys gone. I
Yeah,
mean, come
kidney's
on.
gone. Yeah,
It's
like I
just
said,
stupid.
maybe we're fuddy duddies. Maybe it's us that are just disconnected. I did not find this as a fun episode for me. Now, like with the caveat that Spock was great. Ethan Peck was absolutely great in this episode. There's going to be spoilers, everybody. If you don't want spoilers, Ken and I really don't care too much. We try. Um,
Spock saved their lives.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
Spock is hilarious. When
yeah.
Spock mind melds with the plant, and
That yeah,
it works.
that was the really besides you could say Ortega's and Scotty, they kinda made amends. That was cool, but the rest of it was just trash, It's
Yeah.
like
You didn't like
trying
when Spock
s
got slapped by Kirk?
yeah, and the funny thing is it's like, and he had me fooled too. Well, I shouldn't real well, it doesn't really matter if I say something about this, that Spock thought that Kirk was in his mind the whole time, turns
With
out he
the
was really there.
hallucination. Yeah.
Although, why wasn't he affected by the atmosphere? That didn't make any sense to me, if that's the case, because he had a level head the entire time. So, yeah,
Somebody had to.
it's
Yeah,
this
that's inconsistency.
The Star Trek geek in me seeing all the plot holes and all the inconsistencies and just making I was frustrated the whole episode. Um, it's like when you have a bad dream where you're trying to accomplish something and you spend the entire time trying to accomplish this goal and you never reach it. I felt like that's what was happening in this whole episode. Um, everything was trying to be, all these people trying to be funny. I read something this week where a guy was saying how, back when I was young and I would get drunk at parties and drunk people are funny when you're drunk, but when you're sober, they're not funny. They're just annoying. And it's kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, they were all annoying. The whole, like you said, other than Spock, because he wasn't really acting like, out of the ordinary, but he was a little off. Everything else was just annoying. And yeah, I didn't like it at all. It was just frustrating. It was very frustrating.
Uh,
Um, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know. If you have anyone in the comments has any thoughts on the episode, please share with us. It just so
This
this is my bigger thought for the series is I don't think they know what they're doing this season. Now I've lost faith that they have a point to the season. Again, we're only three episodes
scary.
in.
Yeah.
I also think that they're trying to do the Next Generation had tons of different types of episodes. You had my favorite holodeck episodes,
Mhm.
and they were just a random thing out of the blue, and they wrote a whole storyline in the end. Uh, and so I feel like they are trying to have episodes that feel like that. And like, so next week is the noir episode. I don't know how they're going to do a noir episode. Maybe they were doing it because you had Spider-Man Noir, which we reviewed. And maybe they wanted to do something like Spider-Man Noir. I don't know. Maybe this is something that Ken and I have run into. Maybe there's a trend right now where noir is the trend for TV shows, just like how the musical episode is. I'm wondering, Ken, by the way, I watched it with my wife the other day. There was a trailer for season 4 where Pike was a puppet, like a Muppet. Is there going to be a Muppet episode in season 4? Do you know about that?
The Muppets take Star Trek? It could
Or
be.
it just Muppet-like episode? Is this?
I
Are
I
they
don't
just? What
I don't
is it?
know.
What is going on? Are we losing the plot?
It's falling apart.
At
Dave,
least
I
it's
have
not High School in Space or
let
in San Francisco.
let me this would be a good time for me to share this. I put together a special video just for this episode. That's
Wow.
the emotion that has come out of me because of this video, this episode, and I want to share it now. Okay, it's about a minute long, and to me, it personifies Star Trek's journey and then this episode. So let me play it right now. Star Trek, you were doing well for a little bit, and then you just stumbled and fell. Did you notice that
You
his pants
love
fell down?
ships. Yeah, I was gonna say you love ships catching on fire, trains going up. The only thing that was missing, and the Ken loves AI thing, is there wasn't a cat getting wet or
No
something in the
cats. Yeah,
mix.
that's next
You
time.
you you forgot that one. I was waiting for that. The cake was pleasant though. The cake and the trip on the cake, that was nice.
I'll tell you
Um,
this, that whole the whole music thing is 3 minutes long, and I punched in, uh, tragic music, and that
yeah.
was the first one on the list, and I thought, "Man, if there" I was listening to the whole thing. I was like, "If there was something sad going on in my life right now, it'd be like tears coming down my face right now, because that music was just like, you know, that would have brought it out of me." Um, but no, the thing with the guy I had put in there, I wanted his pants to fall down, and he tripped over him, and it didn't do it. So right before you came on tonight, I was testing this thing on here, and I realized, wait, his pants did fall down, but he has another pair of pants on. So,
Yeah, I
but
was
yeah,
wondering if that was a second leg.
it it was he probably fell because he was wearing too many pairs of pants. That's what I'm thinking happened. So, but yeah, he represents Star Trek, and you were doing so well, and oh yikes, forget it. Never mind.
Well,
So
I'm hesitant to where this is going. You guys like this content, and so I'm not at the point where I'm saying I'm suffering, but I've been hurt before, guys. You have to understand, I have been hurt before. Um, and
I'm
I don't want to
really
be hurt.
nervous. I'm really nervous about next week's episode. I was cautiously optimistic. the first one, the second one, the third one's like, oh, now I'm like, what's the fourth one going to be like? So thankfully, we have not committed to watching the entire season, so we can
No,
bail if
no,
we
no.
have to.
But
So
you
we'll
guys
see.
have any ends? Let's see. I'm looking at the comments here. Mark B, let me put you up here. Next Generation is still my favorite. In fact, I think I'm going to go watch it now while I eat a giant bowl of cereal. You know what, Mark? You are welcome to watch it after we're done. I'm just gonna have to be honest. Yeah, this
Yes.
is not. This
Do
is an
not watch it
option
right
anymore.
now. Do
You
not
can
watch it right
watch
now.
it. You can watch it at about 10:05. Fine, go ahead.
Unless you have 2 TVs, you could
Oh
watch
well,
it on
then
this
yeah,
TV and
go
watch
for it.
this on the other.
Yeah. That's totally fine. Next Generation will forever be the best. That's completely true. Kelly
Yeah,
B.
I agree.
Um, it's just good. I will say I do like the guy they casted for Kirk. I really do. I do like Ethan Peck Spock. He
Yeah.
has grown on me. Um, okay, if you guys are going to keep talking about food, you have to tell us what kind of cereal you're eating. Are you eating the red dye kind of cereal, the yellow dye kind of cereal,
Thanks.
the crunchy mom cereal, like it's filled with no glyphosate, so it has extra bugs added to it because they didn't kill them off? You have
Good
to
stuff.
not do it. I have 10 TVs. So how many are on us? It should be 9, right? We're on
All of
9
them.
of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Well, I'll
All of
I'll
them.
tell you I'll tell you this. I think the only solution, and it's already been done, it's in the process of being done,
That's good.
is
God,
this. Remember this scene, Star Trek 3? Kirk is kicking the Klingon off the cliff because he's trying to pull him down with him. Well,
Hmm.
this explains it all. So,
Is this
this is
after the
in
son gets killed?
this is in what's that?
Is this after David dies?
It is. It
Okay.
is. So, Kirk is kicking him off the cliff because he's trying to drag him down with him. So, it's a perfect example of what's happening in real life right now. Kurtzman is out the door. What we're seeing, this is the thing that is an encouragement. Okay. What we're seeing is what's been done in the past. It just took
Yeah.
a year to get it on the air. So we just kind of have to work through it and go with the hope that because Kurtzman is now out at the door, that this is the last of it. That there won't be any more of this nonsense, that they'll turn a corner. So that would
See,
be, yes, the crunchiest.
I the
If you're gonna do
crunchiest.
that, Scrapple is what you need to be eating, by the way.
I almost bought
Amish.
Scrapple at Detweiler's like 2 days ago. Just so you know, I thought of you, but then I also thought it's technically my anniversary, so I don't know if my wife wants to be smelling that all up in our house.
You put it on the grill. That's what I do. Problem
Some
solved.
Scrapple.
Problem
Oh
solved.
man, you, Caleb, and I need to get together and just have Scrapple with country fried potatoes and
Yeah,
eggs. That's
absolutely.
that's oof.
Absolutely.
That's the way to go. So I think you're right. I don't know if you've been following what's going on with Paramount. So they're trying to buy out Warner Brothers right now, and the state of California is trying to stop Paramount from merging with that. And so there's a big
Huh.
lawsuit going on. So no new productions will be coming out of Paramount for some time until this is all settled.
Mm,
And I think what's going to happen is as soon as this merger's done, Paramount's going to pull out of California. I don't know
yeah,
if you've
that's
been
a good idea.
following that. So the thing that why do we mention what's going on with these companies, Paramount, Disney? Because how they are acting corporately impacts the productions they do.
Mhm.
And as soon as they get out of Hollywood, out of that bubble, it's going to change what comes out of their studios. Just
Yeah,
saying. I mean, why would you stay in Hollywood with how expensive it is anyway, let
yeah.
alone how unfriendly it is business wise? Okay, we got a Scrabble comment. Scrapple and Waffle House hash browns. Oof. So we're going out for breakfast
That'll
tomorrow
work.
for my anniversary.
Nice.
So, I'm not that no one, there is no restaurant in Florida that I have found that sells Scrapple.
There is
Look,
a place in Port Charlotte. There is a place down our
what?
way. Mhm. It's a little
I
place, a little hole in the wall place. I can't remember the name escapes me, but I'll think of it. But yes, I've been there. I've been there.
really?
Like the only place I know of too. But yeah.
So my first time ever eating scrapple, I didn't know what it was. We went to a restaurant called like the Minute in Time in York, Pennsylvania. And
Huh.
it was, when you go to a diner, when you go to the diner for the first time, obviously you're going at like 11:30 at night. Um,
Oh yeah. It's the only time to
so
go.
I was a freshman in college, and all the seniors were trying to play a prank on me. So they told me you got to get their best dish, which is scrapple and potatoes and eggs. And I was like, sounds like a breakfast dish. Sounds good. I got it. They watched me thinking I'd throw up or something. It was covered in sausage gravy, and I cleaned that plate, and they were disgusted. I'm like, what's wrong? They're like, scrapple is, and they explain what it is. I'm like, oh, so it's like Spam, right? I love Spam too.
Yeah.
And they were just freaked out. And I was like, man, scrapple, where have you been all my life? And then every time we'd go, I'd order the plate of scrapple because I liked it, but also because everyone else was like, bleh.
That's
Scrapple's good
hilarious.
stuff. Well, now with
So,
that, let's move on to our next topic,
yeah,
Ken.
you have some space news, don't you? I think we have an introduction for that.
We I
Right.
forgot we still had that one. So and in our news segment, more news segment for you guys, Ken, what could you think is the worst mixture of things entertainment wise that you could put together? Just throw it out there. What do you think goes together like tuna fish and peanut butter?
I think we just talked about that, didn't we?
Well, we probably did, but there's more. Disney is doing officially a Star Wars Marvel crossover event in January of 2027. I don't know. My wife's grandmother would say when she got a gift she didn't want at Christmas, she would say, "I didn't know I needed it." And there we go.
Why? Why?
So we are getting the crossover event we didn't know we needed. It is going to come with a collection. So you see this here. Let me see if I could zoom in there for a second. So see this thing right here, this long image. This
Yeah.
is 5 different covers of the same comic, and you buy them all, and you will have that fantastic image where there is a tie-in with the movie coming out end of the year with Doomsday. So Doctor Doom and Darth Vader are going to be on a team, and of course Captain America and Luke Skywalker are on the team. So he's with the Avengers. And this is coming to a comic book shop near you. This is crazy because these are 2 brands Disney has driven into the ground. They have absolutely destroyed it with their inability to write. And we know for a fact, and we're going to be covering this here in a few minutes, that it's not superhero fatigue like they've been claiming. Because Spiderman has made, I think, nearly $2 billion now.
Yep.
We're
going to talk about that in a few minutes.
Terrible writing fatigue where they have destroyed the 2 top-tier brands probably ever.
Yeah.
It's probably Disney itself, Star Wars, and Marvel. These 3 brands are some of the best that exist, possibly the most financially valuable, other than, by the way, Pokemon. Even they're not doing so good if you follow what's going on over there. And now, since they're doing so bad, they're going to do a crossover.
Of course. Isn't that the natural conclusion?
At this point, I'm not surprised. They couldn't even get a good writer. And so Star Wars has existed in the Marvel universe, but it existed as a TV show and a movie. Because Marvel is supposed to be our world plus superheroes. And now somehow this thing that is a movie in the Marvel universe is going to come to reality. And like I said, Avengers Doomsday is coming out at the end of the year. So, of course, the main villain is Doctor Doom, who's going to be working with Darth Vader. So, Ken, how quickly are you going to go out to get this?
Already done.
Already done. I want to introduce our guest host today and see what she thinks.
Yes.
Kelly, are you going to go out and buy these for your
yeah,
for your
absolutely.
husband?
Listen, I think this is a really cool idea. Do I think they'll ruin it? Yeah, but it is a really cool idea. Yeah.
Are you insane?
You're crossing the two over, man. The two like best things ever. I mean, Star Wars and Star Trek would be even better, but
that should I don't I just think it's just
I
a
didn't
big
hear
old
that.
cash grab.
right. If you did,
It's
no,
just a
I
cash
do
grab.
think it is just a cash grab. But I feel like if someone really put in the work and did it correctly, they could make it really stinking cool.
Oh, but they won't. That's the thing.
Oh, I
That's-
know they won't. I
they
know they
won't.
They
won't.
won't.
But
So here is the
Uh.
thing. Oh yes, this is what my wife is saying. This would in 2017 this would have been peak. I think that's exactly correct. It's just it is not. I'm afraid you have to spend. So that whole thing is 5 covers. They're probably going to be $6 each. So for you to do that, that's like what, $36 for you to get all the covers, and then you have to get a device to slot them all in so you can hang them on your wall, because that's what people are going to do. And you
I
know
have
the
a
worst part is I know I'm going to buy one, and I know I'm going to probably buy Ken one just because. And I'm going to buy Ken the one probably with Chewbacca and Wolverine, because that's what I'll do.
So here's a question I'm going to
Do you want
pose.
the Leia, the girl power one with the Leia and
There you go, Kelly.
and C-3PO and the Fantastic
C-3PO.
Four?
C-3PO
And the Fantastic
with girl
Four.
power? That's crazy.
Or do you think they're trying to
He's bright and
appeal?
shiny and gold.
Do you think they're trying to appeal to a new audience? Or are they trying to
Who
start
buys
a whole
comic
new
books
fan club?
anymore? Like, so the people who buy comic books, what's left of them, they are the niche of the niche. This to be really honest. The Star Wars comics, again, like, have you read the extended universe of Star Wars? Caleb, have you read the extended universe of Star Wars? Anyone in our comments, have you read the extended universe of Star Wars? That's who these are for. They're not for well, me. And I'm a comic book person. I mean, I haven't bought a comic book in like 3 years now because they've been so terrible. But that's what that is. I don't know. I'm glad, Kelly, you think the idea is pretty good. I just don't want to be hurt again.
Okay, so maybe that's the audience. Maybe her generation is the audience that would appeal to this.
That very awkward, not quite a millennial, but right in that Gen Z, but not young Gen Z.
And we'd like to hear from anybody else out there that's watching. What do you think? Because that's a good question. What do you think?
I feel like you either think it's really stupid and you hate it, or you're like, this could be really cool. Like, there's no like.
I think it's stupid and I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm just, like I said, I feel like I'm gonna buy one. Maybe I'll have to buy Ken the one with all the women on the cover, and you can have that, and you can put that up in your office.
So bad. He's gonna get beat up for this.
Yes, I'm gonna get beat up.
So let's see. I'll get you. I'll zoom in so you could see it. See this one right here with Leia and Black Widow and the Fantastic Four. I'll get you that one, and that'll be the one you get. Not the cool one with Darth Vader. That one actually is probably worth having.
That's the one I want. The Darth Vader one. The one thing I would say is, you wonder, okay, so in 20 years, are these going to be worth a lot of money? But
no,
probably not.
Probably they're going to print so many of them that they're going to be worth less than the paper they were printed on. Well, I think with that, we could put that aside. Now, I want to apologize to our audience. You might have noticed I've been muting myself because I have a cold. And so we were all three of us and a few of our rest of our extended family. We're going to go see Spider-Man last Saturday. And so I did not go because I didn't even get out of bed. I got that sick. And so we're going to move into our review of the Spider-Man movie. Kelly didn't know she was going to be on tonight to talk about it. So she just hopped on. She's let me be honest. This is professional right there. The fact that she got on that quick. Did you know that you said you have Spidey's Whiteys, or were you trying to go for Spidey's Whitey? Okay,
no,
I wasn't sure.
Spidey Whiteys, like tidy Whiteys, but it's Spidey Whiteys.
I get it. I was like, didn't know what was going on there. So we're going to do the review. These two are going to captain it. I'm just going to ask questions. And hey, Ken, hit that that movie review button if we still have that.
Let's see. Where are we?
Do we have it?
We can do weekly
burn a
review.
ship or something.
Here we go. Indeed.
All right, I'll step down a sec while you two headline this thing. By the way, nice Beanie Babies there. I'm right
yes.
over.
Thank you. Yeah, from my end, you're pointing towards Pa over here. So it's like Beanie Babies.
Oh, is this
so am I
your
pointing
Beanie
to Kelly?
Babies
Am I pointing to you, Kelly?
Okay,
Pa, that's Dave.
That's so weird.
All right, are now in my perspective, you are pointing to Kelly.
Like this?
No.
Are you serious? Because you're over here for me.
I'm over to the right.
That's so weird.
Dave
All
is
right.
on the
See,
bottom.
now, I'm just gonna keep doing this and it'll make it crazier. So anyway, for me, Kelly, you're here and Ken is here. So all right, so you guys saw the movie. Tell me what you think.
Honestly, so when we first started seeing previews, my first thought was eye roll. It's just another, woke Marvel movie. But then we started hearing exciting things about it. And I got to say, I haven't been to the theater in years where it's been full, and the theater was full. And there's a reason for it. I was very, let me put it this way, that, I was very pleasantly surprised. The movie was great. It was interesting. It was fun. It was well balanced. It wasn't like some of these where it's like we're trying so hard to be funny, it becomes stupid. It was done very well. I was like, wow, we haven't seen a movie like this from Marvel in a long time. It was just really well done. Everything about it was great. I will say that I figured out who the bad guy was early on, but I'm pretty good about doing that because they try to twist you around and stuff. But I knew who the real bad guy was the whole time.
There was a couple of hints in the beginning too, where if you caught on to it, you could easily miss it. But if you caught on to it, it was there.
So everyone who doesn't know, it's Jean Grey, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything else. I shouldn't have said what I said.
All right. Everyone needs to know is they're setting up for Doomsday because the mutants are doing the bad guy stuff in Doomsday. Anyway, so there you go. Somewhat. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I also think it was a really good movie. There was a love-hate relationship with the whole like no one knows who Peter Parker is type thing. Like I hated it, but at the same time, it also put a ton of focus on Spider-Man rather than Peter Parker and his little friends. So like there was that part of like I hate that because nobody knows who he is and this is stupid and they all built such a good relationship. But at the same time, it put so much focus on Spider-Man, and then he had this like new guy that was really funny and a very likable character. So I thought it was good. I thought it was great.
So I've heard that in this movie, Peter Parker, if you've read the comics, Peter Parker is supposed to be dirt poor when he's in college. And now in this one, he's like got a scientific lab where he's doing like miraculous heavy biomedical engineering in his apartment.
That's due to Tony Stark though. Right? Like he
gave him. That's the excuse they use.
But if he was forgotten by everyone, how would the Stark family know to give him money?
I mean,
somehow he got a hold of this technology.
Tony Stark is dead though, so maybe
allegedly,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say any more, but yeah.
So these are just a few things that I heard. Let me ask a couple questions for you both. How was Zendaya as Mary Jane? I do not like her as Mary Jane. I don't know that Zendaya knows how to be anything other than Zendaya. She seems to be the same actress in every film, and maybe that's why she's hired to do it. But was she good?
Yeah.
In this movie or like all of the movies?
I just don't like her as Mary Jane, and that's me being way persnickety.
Yeah, she is one of those actors where it's like sometimes you'll look at a movie or a TV show that she is in, and you'll be like, oh, like she has, decent acting. But then you look at another one, you're like, oh, it's the same. And she's like the same person. It's the same character in every movie. So I do agree with you.
Morgan Freeman.
I feel like she plays this part well, but I feel like it's just because she plays it well. You know what
See,
I mean?
I like the Mary Jane from what's his name?
Tobey Maguire.
Yes, the
Tobey
Tobey
Maguire.
Maguire
Yeah.
era. I
Yeah.
like her the best as Mary Jane. But
Yeah,
no,
she's the best one.
I don't think this girl did bad.
Yeah.
But it also wasn't focused on her either. You know, it was she was kind of in the background a
That's
lot.
the thing. Like they and then the other dude, Ned,
Yeah.
Ned.
he was like barely in there at all. They weren't even like a focus. That's what I was saying. Like this movie was Spider-Man. It wasn't like Peter Parker. Now, a lot of people complained about like we like Peter Parker, but like it's almost like a Peter Parker and then like Spider-Man's kind of like in the background type movie almost. And this one was very much like, oh, this is a Spider-Man movie
Yeah.
because nobody knows Peter Parker.
And then he teamed up with the guy Frank, I think his name was.
Yeah,
You know?
Frank
sure.
was I
Yeah.
liked Frank.
Frank, yeah, I like Frank. He has a potty mouth, but I
That's
thought that
about
was a
right.
bit much for. But you know, it's like
Yeah.
this is other than that, this movie could be seen by any age group as far as I'm concerned, other than the potty mouth from Frank. They could have just deleted that part of it and
Yeah.
kept his character the rest of the way. I don't know why they have to do
It was
that because
unnecessary.
it really you know, disqualifies a certain age group from seeing the movie. But I mean, other than that, his character was great. It went right along, went very well. I got no complaints other than that.
I did think it was strange though, because if you saw the previews, they heavily focused on the stages of the spider and like where his eyes like went black and they heavily focused on that. But then I feel like in the movie there wasn't actually that much of that. And that was like their heavy focus that I feel like got everyone hooked. And then I feel like they barely did anything with it.
Yeah.
So they did a bait and switch on it on the audience.
Yeah.
Because that's a criticism of a lot of trailers is you just showed all the good parts.
Yeah.
And so they didn't actually do that with Spider-Man in this case.
Like it was there, but it wasn't as heavy as I thought it was going to be. It was just kind of like an added extra thing. Like the heavy focus was on Jean Grey. And then the other thing was just kind of like like it's kind of it'll happen every once in a while, but it's not that big of a deal. Like they showed in the previous.
So speaking of Jean Grey, she's played by Sadie Sink. Did you either of you watch Stranger Things? And
Yeah.
was she good in this compared to where she is in Stranger Things?
Yeah, she's a good actor, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was watching two different people as far as from Stranger Things to here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she played it really well. I think they picked the perfect person for that character.
I didn't even realize at first it was her, and then it suddenly hit me like, oh, that's what's her name from Stranger Things. So yeah, two completely different characters. And I think she played it both well. So definitely.
Now, I guess. Oh, by the way, the comment here. Yeah, Zendaya and Tom Holland are married. They just got married, actually.
Yeah, they're married. Yeah.
What did the lamest one of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies? I guess I have to see it. Was he there with you guys, or is he just stirring the pot?
Yeah, he stole your ticket. I just gave it to him. Yeah,
I feel so bad about that. I was so sick, and I felt so bad for wasting your time.
I was like, hey, as long as someone takes it, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. And then Caleb took it, and I was like, great, cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of do agree with that because the whole time I was thinking, I'm like, why aren't they doing more with that whole like alternate whatever the other Spider-Man or like the evil, and they didn't really do much with it, and it was kind of weird. And that was like, I thought that was going to be super cool, and then they just barely did anything with it. So I was kind of excited about that.
They kind of geared it up, and then it kind of just petered off.
Yeah, that was the weird part. It was like
You know?
it was like ramped up, and then all of a sudden they kind of just like, yeah, we're gonna like forget we did that. I was like,
yeah, like that's okay. No, it's all fine now. It's like,
are they setting up for yet another Spider-Man movie? It sounds like.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I don't think that'll even be a big part of it though. That's that with the way that they kind of like petered off at the end and just it's not a big deal anymore. It was just kind of weird. So,
but they did have a sneak preview at the end, and it definitely looks like they're going to be coming out with another Spider-Man movie. So,
Well, allegedly, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is going to show up in Doomsday, and he's going to die. Allegedly, is what the rumor is.
Why would they kill the best Spider-Man? That's crazy.
Because this is not a Sony produced Spider-Man. This is a Disney produced Avengers movie, and you can't have good things in the Disney production. So
No.
you know, people will say that Garfield, what's his name? Garfield was the best Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker, and Tom Holland is just a fantastic altogether character. Like people love those two other guys for their playing of who they are, but of course,
the Garfield one was not the best in anything. He was the worst.
I actually, back in the day, I refused to watch those because I wanted Disney to get the rights back, but now it's never going to happen. Disney wants to kill all your favorite heroes. I think that might be true because
so they can make all new heroes.
They've pretty much done it.
Yeah,
pretty much done it.
Like Captain Marvel, completely ruined character. They could have done a good job with her, ruined her. That's a whole nother thing, but
yeah, well, it's and then this is the thing that we're talking about. They want to destroy heroes. They want heroes all to be morally gray. Why? Because they're lazy and they don't want to write good guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to write bad guys and jerks, but no one can write somebody who's actually good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
well, they all have to be woke now too.
Well, they do have the agenda is crazy. But was there a lot of agenda in Spider-Man, or was it just?
No, actually, not really.
Just a plain Jane, good old fashioned Spider-Man movie. It was great. Yeah. You know,
I was pleasantly surprised because I thought there was going to be a lot of that, especially after the He-Man movie that we saw. That was like heavy with that. They didn't. I don't remember anything from this movie that they did anything woke or anything like that. So.
How much money did I'm checking to see how much they've made so far. It's made $1.8 billion as of today. It's going to hit $2 billion easy here, probably by the weekend out.
In the next 30 seconds.
Right. Doing something right.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. We're talking about it. There's no agenda. They just wrote a movie people wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And Sony did put some woke garbage out there for a couple of years. You know, let's be real. So maybe they've just said, maybe we want to make money. I've heard, and Ken, you and I were talking about this before, and Kelly, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tom Holland went out and talked to the fans and got their opinions on it. And it sounds like that showed up in the film. Like you could tell, like he actually cared about the character. It sounds like hearing you guys talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like I was watching a Spider-Man movie from 20 years ago. Like it was a good old fashioned superhero movie, and no ridiculous agendas in there, So I was pleasantly surprised and very happy. It was worth the money to see it in the theater, and I'd go see it again. I would. I'd go see it again.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. Like I'll agree with Caleb, it wasn't the best of the Spider-Man movies, but I think it was a solid movie. It was good. So
yeah. I think, I was expecting it to be stupid, and it wasn't stupid, so I was happy.
and it
depends on where your expectations were.
My expectations with Marvel has really come down a lot, so it's like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I feel
before
like
it might have been, it was okay.
If you really my expectations, you might feel like, I wish there was this. I wish there was that. Like I had decent expectations. So there were things that I was like, they could have done better on this. They could have had this, whatever. It could have been better in these ways. But, and then someone like Pa, he's like, yeah, like my expectations were 6 feet under. So it was a great movie.
I guess when your expectations are, I just don't want it to suck. Anything's better than that.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily healthy. What does that say about how things have been? It's like, well, I was expecting terrible and it wasn't. So, I feel
it was a good movie though. It was a good movie. I wouldn't hate it. I definitely wouldn't say that it was the worst Spider-Man movie ever. I wouldn't say that. I think it was a good movie. I think there were some things that they could have done better with and added more, like with the whole alternate Spider-Man, whatever was going on there. I think they could have done more with that, but I mean, that's really my only like complaint, to be honest. So
we can wrap it up here. But the big thought process I'm getting from the two of you that it was a good film, Ken, you'd see it again. Probably not for really little children given the language issues, but it's a fun time if you are looking for something to do. Blow out expectations. But that's good to hear. I'll have to come and catch a chance to go see it at some point. Well, thank you guys for reviewing that for me. Ken, what do we got next? Oh, what's this comment? When you are so star for basic stories, B movies seem like triple S tier. Yeah, and that's that's the problem. Is there's just nothing good these days. So anything that feels even like it's even a little good is great. So okay, so Ken, of all the movies that we've seen for the show, where does this place this so far? So we've seen Project Hail Mary. You've seen He-Man. We've seen Mandalorian and Grogu. And Kelly, you can hop in too. Where does this place? Because you've been at most of the movies we've gone to as well.
Yeah.
So from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7. I think I would.
And do the same.
And so for me this year, the best movie we saw was Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that.
I would say that for me too. Because
Disclosure Day. Well, see, that's my worst, but you saw He-Man.
He-Man was worse than Disclosure Day, I think.
Did you not see He-Man?
No, I didn't go.
No, he didn't have the pleasure
of town.
Oh, man, now you have to see it because it was awful.
No, Kelly, it was awesome.
Oh,
it was awesome.
Awesome. Sorry, autocorrect. Awesome.
Remember, it was.
Kelly is never getting invited by any of these companies to see these movies.
I lied. That's wild.
Oh man. So okay, that's good to hear. Well, why don't we move into our last segment there, Ken? I got a little bit I could share today.
All right, here we go.
So we've been talking about worldviews and apologetics. Kelly, this might sound so familiar to you because I'm pretty sure somebody just texted me. What about Stan Lee's tribute towards Brand New Day? Who texted me? Who's texted? Oh, no, I know who that is. That's your nice. Oh, no, I know who that is. That's your. Now I'm getting it back in.
That's wild.
You're still in, Kelly. I know who that. You're still there, Kelly.
Where'd you go? Okay.
She thought she hopped out. That's funny.
I think she did.
She did finally. She just didn't hop out the way she thought she did.
Good night, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly. Good thing she didn't say anything. You know that thing where you're like, oh, snap, I said something I shouldn't say on live. Good thing you didn't do that, Kelly. I thought she was going to hang out with us. That's fine. So we've been talking about worldview and apologetics the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to do an application of worldview with you, Ken, and see how it works. The one thing I always will remember, Ken, is right after we met each other, we were starting to just get to know each other really well, and you and I just clicked for some reason right out the gate. I don't know. Yep. God is cool. God is good. He allowed that. And then one of my proudest, but one of the moments that always makes me kind of have that I just smile a little bit, was I started breaking down movies for Ken, and I basically ruined movies for you. I ruined movies for you, I think, inside of a half hour. And then
been 20 minutes.
I'm not going to put that comment up on screen, Kelly. I'm not going to put that one up. I see it. I thought I hopped out. You did? Not when you thought you did. Anyway, so one of the things that happened, Ken and I, we're getting to know each other. We're becoming really good friends. you are one of my best friends. And so we start watching movies together just because, and that's why we do this, because we like movies. And I start saying, oh, did you notice this, this, and this? And then Ken starts watching movies differently. And then literally unrelated to anything, we're doing something else. And he goes, I just want you to know you've ruined all movies for me. Mm-hmm. And what happens is he started applying his Christian worldview to entertainment. And suddenly you start picking up the good, the bad, and the ugly. And just like woke, the thing about woke is Ken and I have been picking up woke stuff long before woke became a common commentary on things, because they've been cooking woke garbage into movies for some time.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just they got blatant with it after the pandemic. So you have to take your worldview, and it functions like glasses. I usually have my sunglasses on me, and you have to see through it. So, for example, let's just think about movies for a second. When Ken says there was no agenda in Spider-Man, it's because he was looking for it and didn't show up. You watch Endgame, for Avengers Endgame, there's a scene where it's all the female heroes and all they do is power pose, and it's the last thing they do that's useful. And why? What they're doing is they're trying to push the agenda. I put the comment up. Is that the one you're talking about? And they want to push the agenda, and so they're pushing some beginning replacement of the iconic heroes with these new ones. And they're replacing characters like Captain America with new Captain America and so on. And it leaves you wondering, why are they replacing Steve Rogers with Sam Falcon? Why are they pushing, for example, in all Disney movies, why are they pushing witchcraft in everything? Why is witchcraft such a common thing? And we're not talking like tee-hee-hee, it's Halloween, spookiness. We're talking it's March and there's witchcraft in a movie again. Like, what is going on? Or when we saw Disclosure Day, why does Spielberg make all these alien movies? Oh, it's because he believes that aliens are necessary for there to be world peace, because he doesn't believe that there's any way to have peace outside of something coming into our world, but that something can't be Jesus. And why? Because he's a Hollywood leftist. He can't think of there being a source of peace outside of something that's human or knowable. And so how does man have peace with man? The Bible says that there's peace through God. That God is the great reconciliator. He reconciles man to man. Christ, that's what he does. If you don't believe in Christ, suddenly you watch Disclosure Day, they have to have a woman possessed with alien powers to make peace between mankind. And you cannot see it. I'm trying to think, Ken, what's the one thing you were telling me about the other day that like this, just the agenda showed up again? We're on a different part of our episode, but part of the reason why I really didn't care for the drug part or the drunkenness part was because I don't really like Ortega's character. I don't like what the agenda that they've been pushing. I don't want it. I don't want the normalization of it. That doesn't make me, I know, politically correct, but that's what I see.
Yeah.
You watch the relationship between Scotty and Ortegas. Ken, are you threatened by gender fluid women at all? Just honestly?
Am I threatened by them?
Yeah, because that's what Scotty is. Scotty is threatened by a gender fluid woman.
Well, the original Scotty would not have been. That's all I'm saying.
And that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to push that men and women are nothing more than interchangeable cogs. A man can be threatened by a gender fluid woman just as easily as a woman could be threatened by kind of a wimpy man. And the idea there is that there's no such thing as gender,
right?
Which rejects again, we believe in a creator creation distinction. If there's no gender, there's no distinctions. If there's no God, there's no distinctions. I know this might be hard for people to get, but when you deny God's separateness from creation, then you can easily deny man and woman's separateness from one another. They're both equal at the foot of the cross, men and women, but we're distinct and different. I don't know many men who are threatened by gender fluid women. What I think there is there's a lot of projection by writers that this is the case. And I think that's because they have to make it exist in fiction because it doesn't exist in reality.
By the way, that was very impressive. I have never seen anyone cough quietly before like you just did.
Oh, I quick draw with the mic.
Amazing.
So, I could just blow up my microphone here, or I could just mute it and cough and keep going. But so when you, again, just applying worldview to it, when you see a character being promoted that's something different or other outside the created pale, it's because their worldview is at play. This comedian who her only idea of funny is drunkenness.
Right.
You can see, like, there's a lot of things that are really funny that don't need disorderliness. In fact, life is funnier when it's normal than, like Ken, you said it best. The only people who think drunk people are funny are other drunk people. Really.
Yeah.
The rest of us are just like, as we watch it happen.
Yeah.
You apply your worldview, suddenly it changes the way you see things. I like Spock because he was trying to put things together and he had come to the conclusion that I'm off. And he was doing his best to do it. What I like about Kirk is Kirk's certain of himself. He is confident of himself. He's willing to slap Spock around if he has to. And that's what makes him great. By the way, I'm waiting for Bones to show up, but there's a reason why he's Kirk, because the logic of Spock and the emotionalism of Bones meet their unity in Kirk. Kirk is, of course, the Scots word for church. And you have the original Roddenberry. Gene Roddenberry knew this. He has two sides of the human spectrum, and the only place they can meet and work in the same way a Christian would say, there are many parts of the body. They have to come together for the same mission, or they work against each other. And when Kirk puts it right, Spock is suddenly able to do his job. And Bones eventually will be able to do his job. And Scotty will eventually be able to do his job with perfection. Again, taking and applying worldview to it, it just unlocks it and makes sense. You don't need to have witchcraft. You don't need to have all these modern writing techniques. You just need to apply the hard work and allow it to come through. And this is where, Ken, we were talking about. I think Kurtzman is not making errors. I think he's doing exactly what he intended to do, because his work. What makes Next Gen so good is it's still operating off of the fumes of a Christian worldview, which makes these episodes a roll of the dice, is because they're not working off of any coherent worldview at all.
Yeah.
And it comes out in the writing. So keep learning your worldview, guys. We'll keep going this on. Next week, I'm going to talk about divine sovereignty. I'm a Calvinist, and I make no apologies for that. So we'll talk about that next week.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for that, Dave, and thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. If you have not yet, subscribe to our channel, comment, and click like. And if you don't like us, then we'll ignore you. So everyone have a good night, and we will
Good night,
see
everybody.
you next time.